Okay, so a little bit odd, but I'm not streaming this time. I just don't feel up to streaming it, but I'll record it. It'll go up on the VOD channel anyway. And I did accidentally talk to Graha Tia. Like, I just walked up to him and talked to him before I clicked the record button. But all he said was, "Oh, let's go look at these things. They seem to be lightning rods." And then we speak to him closer. So let's keep going. This material appears to be the same in the soldiers and warships. Appears to bear fine etchings, rather reminiscent of arcane runes, these. I suspect they're not merely decorative. It's probably used to harness lightning as a source of energy. Quite impressive. Alright, so that didn't add too much, I suppose. Mikasa as Mikasa. Land 11. Let's just keep chit. I forgot I put the Phoenix on. Woo! Alright, Aaronville. What we got? What in the world? Still don't know what's going on. So, like, did all the people get turned into the robots? Is time weird? Are they just living underground now? Oh? Do you recognize this, Aaronville?
My home. It's in ruins. But why? What happened here? And where is everyone?
I had a look in a few of the other houses, but they had clearly been abandoned.
Interesting. Still not sure what's going on here.
Damn it
We'll
all.
find out, I
None of
guess.
this makes sense. Excuse me? Are you looking for someone?
Hello? Who are you?
I apologize for giving you a fright. However, I did have reason to keep to the shadows. Sorolja has told me a great deal about you.
Oh? Are you the one that gave him his powers or
Sorolja?
whatever? That was behind the gate?
Greetings, and welcome to the realm of Alexandria.
Alexandria? I really wanted to make an Alexander joke. The great Alexander, but a woman.
I am Sphene, the Queen of Reason.
Queen of Reason? So are there more queens?
Queen of Reason?
If you are the Queen of Reason, is there perhaps...
Oh, Queen of Resolve?
Yes, if you mean to ask if there is a King of Resolve. Zorulja holds that title, and together do we reign.
Oh, she wants to punch her.
Then you're both behind the attack on Tulihiola.
And I doubt you're here to offer us a warm reception. No, you have it all wrong. I am not come to fight. Zorulja rules alongside me, but that is a matter of expedience. In truth, we are at odds, he and I. It is at considerable risk to myself and my people that I come before you to beg your aid.
Okay.
Our aid? I'll admit I cannot imagine King Zorolja is keen to share and share alike. But if what you say is true, you're still the queen.
Indeed. But I was once the sole ruler of Alexandria.
And then Zorulja opened the gate and got his power from something.
Until one day, he appeared, bent on conquest. In my weakness, I feared his power. So I persuaded him to forego violence and strike a bargain. I would remain queen, and he would receive technology that would empower him to achieve even loftier ambitions, along with the knowledge to use it. A gamble, to be sure, but if it might spare my people...
But this still doesn't tell who's the voice behind the gate that's originally
If I
spoke to
may,
Zorulja.
The dome surrounding these lands was erected but recently. How is it he was able to not only invade, but instate a new system of leadership in a mere matter of days?
Well, it hasn't been days for them. Clearly.
I've never heard of your realm. And this place is, or at least was, Yasolani. The house I grew up in is still here. But 3 years ago, that tower and these strange contrivances weren't. Nor was our village in ruins. Where did you...
I didn't mean to skip that. Where did you come from? Where did you go, Cotton Eye Joe?
I realize how confusing this all must be. Truth be told, I don't fully understand it myself. What I can say is that one day, people from your Tuliolol suddenly appeared here in Alexandria. Or perhaps it was we who found ourselves in Tuliolol. Until but recently, we were completely unaware of events taking place beyond the barriers surrounding our realm.
Does this not remind you of the Crystal Tower? How after the 8th Umbral Calamity, we devised a means to transport the Spire across time and space from the source unto the First. Granted, this is on a much larger scale, if that is indeed what has happened. Not only the people and structures, but also the surrounding environment. Regardless, the people of Lakeland perceived the arrival of the Crystal Tower much as the Queen describes her own experience. Sudden and inexplicable.
Well then, you appear to have a better grasp of our circumstances than we do. Indeed, more than I dared hope.
This still feels weird.
A closer examination of the effects of this phenomenon may afford us more insights. Allow me to take you to the outskirts. A number of the Shatona live there as well. Perhaps your acquaintances are among them.
Hold on. If we accept, there's no guarantee we're not walking into a trap.
Well, we need info of some variety.
But if we're to defeat Zorolja, we need to understand how he grew so strong. Besides...
We need a chance to find his family.
You're right.
Queen Sphene, before we go, Your Majesty, I have to ask, did you really have nothing to do with the attack on Tulihyolol?
I mean, you may have made the robots.
Noble Wook Lamart, shall we dispense with the formalities? I'll not deny the soldiers and airships that attacked your people are products of Alexandria. But it was Zorolja, not we, who fashioned them into weapons of war and laid siege to Tuliolol.
So he alone is to blame.
No, I may not have prosecuted this war, but I nevertheless bear responsibility for it.
Perhaps. I know next to nothing about you, let alone what you've been through. So by all means, show us around. I think we'll learn a lot from meeting your people.
Okay.
Wonderful. If you would follow me.
Take it there will be trouble if Zoralja hears of this?
Is that concern or suspicion? If things should take a turn for the worse, might I call upon your aid? I jest, of course. But you do strike me as the most capable here.
She knows more than she should. She knows way more than she should. We're not going to trust her just like that, right? Any way you look at it, a mysterious girl who appears out of nowhere proclaiming herself a queen is suspicious. You're so right, Alize. The 8th Umbral Calamity added into my codex. Alright, let's get going. I do just really want to finish up the MSQ by tomorrow, hopefully, because I'm playing this on Monday, the 15th. And I know there's maintenance later tonight, and then I think then the first raid tier comes out, and I really want to do that. I want to, like, do current raiding. I'm trying to remember how it works, because we got current tier raid, and then you got Savage, then you have Extreme, and then you have Ultima, I think? Because, like, normal raids is just, you do it, you get the gear. It's not, like, super difficult. You can just figure it out. Settled on this approach after some trial and error. The Turali have their own methods of farming, which they wanted to continue employing, but the environment makes it challenging. Too much rain and not enough light. Electro-rope has allowed us to fortify the buildings here, as well as provide what nature cannot. Electrope. It's a material we use for myriad devices and applications. Topic for another time, perhaps. We're nearly to the outskirts. Southeast? I'll go get those later. Let's just go get this aetherite, I guess, and talk to people. Or talk to people first and then get the aetherite. Do.
Here we are. Though you'll doubtless find much of what you see in Alexandria strange, the traditional agriculture practiced in this village at least should be familiar.
Oh, they got the thing. They all have, like, ear
Queen's
pods.
theme? What business brings her here, I wonder?
The queen has come!
I hate the curly shoes.
You look well, Paquine.
Well, the people seem to like her, which is good.
And Catogne,
A good
I see
sign.
you've already taken to your new position.
When she introduced herself as queen, I was expecting someone colder. Honestly, she reminds me of you, Lamachi.
Lamachi.
Me?
Friendly.
It's only natural for a ruler to love her people. And I should like to know them as best I can. Even the most trifling details.
The more you come to know them, the more you grow to love them. Who they are and what they've built.
That's it. Beautifully put.
Why is she so bright, though?
And it would appear that she is well loved in turn.
Your Majesty, you honor us with your presence. And who are these fine people?
Tuliolol's vow of resolve Wuk-Lamat and her companions. They come from beyond the barrier, but you needn't worry. They are good people and are to be treated as my honored guests.
I get it. Vow means dawn servant, because vow of reason, vow of resolve. I don't know why I didn't make that connection earlier. I was like wondering, where did this vow stuff come from? It's just shorthand for vow of reason, vow of resolve.
The rumors of a link to the outside are true, then. Wuk-Lamat is still so young. Oh, where are my manners? I am Papone, a leader of sorts of the people living out here.
Papone? That is a Tonawaktan ring to it.
Right you are. I take it you hail from this region as well? Teshpiani, perhaps?
Ooh? Okay.
Yes, I do. I don't suppose you know a woman by the name of Kafkiwa.
Kafkiwa. Huh?
Kafkiwa. I'm afraid I'm not sure if I've ever met someone with that name.
Mother isn't here. But it's a relief to know at least some of the people of Yasulani are alive and well.
Your mother, you say? Now that you mention it, I do see the resemblance.
Oh, you know her?
You know my mother?
I do. Yes.
Then tell me, please, where is she?
I believe she's died of old age, if I want to be honest.
I cannot say. Not here, but I promise I will in due time.
I have a question, Pepone. Do you recall what happened the day the dome first appeared?
The barrier? Well,
It was before you were
I
born?
remember fixing a
No,
shelf
never
that
mind.
collapsed after a terrible earthquake. Then the ground began to tremble. There was a brilliant flash of light, and then... Forgive me, my recollection of it all is rather poor.
You needn't push yourself, Papone. After 30 years, no one could blame you for not remembering.
30 years, yeah, there is time shenanigans.
30 years? As in 30 years in the past?
Absurd though it may sound, there is no doubt in my mind the events that led to the joining of our lands occurred 30 years ago.
Well, that does explain how strong he is. It took him, he had 30 years of training.
Which is not to say I understand why our perceptions of the intervening time are so radically different. We only just became aware of the discrepancy when Zoralja's military base was completed, and we were at last able to venture beyond the barrier.
But what brought the barrier?
I believed you long dead. To have the chance to kill you myself is an unforeseen blessing.
Ooh, okay, okay.
30 years. Little wonder Zoralja assumed our father had already passed away.
It's not unlike how time passes differently in the First and the Source. The fluctuating space of the rift between them disrupting temporal equivalence. Perhaps the same holds true here, and time flowed faster within the dome.
Is time still going faster, though? Well, I mean, that would be good.
I was able to make contact with Yestola not long ago via link pearl, so that shouldn't be cause for concern.
Because, like, we could get a lot of stuff done in here, and then only a day passes outside,
And
so
based
that's
on the Queen's
the good
account,
round.
This encampment may have come to serve as a physical bridge between the two planes, after which the dome was forced into the source's temporal flow.
If we're to be certain of anything, we need more information. Sveen, would it be all right if we had a look around and spoke with the townspeople?
By all means.
Okay.
Time to see what we can see of Alexandria, then.
Whenever they say Alexandria, I just think of the meme of, like, top raids in Final Fantasy XIV by year, and it's just perfect Alexander
People.
every single
I may
year.
yet find familiar faces among the survivors from Yasolani.
I wonder if any of them will
Even if I
recognize
don't
him.
understand the half of it, I would learn more of this place before we confront Zorolja.
Perhaps you'd care to see how we make our living.
Yeah, how do you have an
Always prided
economy?
ourselves on the use of traditional Tonawatan farming methods. The use of electro-fueled technologies has led to countless agricultural innovations.
Like, what do you trade with?
I would join you as well.
Ma'am, please, you needn't trouble yourself.
Like the 6th zone, maybe?
It's no trouble at all. And I promise not to cause any manner of distraction.
Reassuring words, or they would be had I not heard them countless times before. Very well, but do be careful.
Of
But
course,
do be careful.
I shall proceed with the utmost care. Now then, if you two would follow me, we can begin the tour.
I can't say that I trust her yet, but I trust that her affection for these people is genuine. And that's enough for me.
It's enough for you, it's enough for me, maybe. She is so bright compared to everything else. It's ridiculous. So there's something I need to fiddle with. There we go. Hasn't replaced everything. They wanted to preserve their old way of life. We did not want to force ours upon them. Communication was thankfully not an issue, for the Turali tongue is surprisingly similar to Alexandrian. Of course, there are words and phrases for which there is no equivalent, but those can be taught with minimal effort. Through mutual respect, understanding, and patience, we Alexandrians and Turali have learned a great deal from one another. So, like, I'm assuming the language went together because that's just how reflections kind of work, maybe? Like, the areas are the same. Do 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 do. Bum bum. All right. So what are we gonna learn here? Just seeing how they live. Most experienced farmhands in all of Alexandria. She's well versed in a myriad of farming techniques. The wealth of knowledge she has shared with the other farmers is what has allowed this place to flourish. What manner of host would we be to deny them a look around? Know me will too well. I'll seize this opportunity to see how the farmers fare and perhaps pepper them with a few questions. I don't know why, but whenever I look at her, I think of, what's her name? Pyrrha? No. Like, Mithra. Pyra Mithra? One of the twos, because one's red, one's this color a bit. I never played the games, I only know it from Smash Brothers. But her colors just remind me of her so much. I'm kind of curious if she, acts similar. But I wouldn't know. Is Xenoblade, because that's the game, I think, with Pyramithra. Is that a Square Enix game? I guess they could make references anywhere. Tend to the fields, mostly watering the crops, keeping the soil fertile, and so on. Took some time until I understood how best to carry it out. I also managed the lamps. We do our best to keep everything up to code, but should they start to malfunction, it's up to you to fix them. So what do you mean being Alexandrian didn't make you a farmer? So, like, did they just not farm until they showed up here? Real storehouse is underground, much more spacious, and equipped with a temperature regulation system. Ooh. No, do. Yep, visitors from beyond. Trust. I'm in charge of livestock. Produce not only fruits and vegetables, but also meat, poultry, and eggs. Tending the animals is a joy, but I have to be careful not to grow attached. It's always a little sad when they're shipped off, but a job is a job. Oh, I haven't attuned to that yet. I should go do that as soon as I can. Probably after this quest they'll let me. I don't even know if I'm not allowed. It's like I could have been allowed if I just walked up to it, but I just didn't. No. What are your impressions? I was amazed that everyone loves their work. Curious observation, do you not love your own work? It's true that the peoples of the outskirts seem the most fulfilled. Always, they take to their duties with good cheer. What did you think of our tour, Lamachi? What did you call me? Was that inappropriate? My apologies, I heard the others call you by that name, and I thought... No, it's fine. As you said before, we've no need for titles and formalities. Okay, the bow's kinda cute. I wish... Can I have that as an emote? There's a system that controls the distribution of water for the fields and livestock. It's been acting up lately, though. Acting up, you say? You needn't worry, my queen. It happens fairly often. Put simply, it's taken in water that had a strong lightning charge. We think some creatures have become charged up with the energy, and they're releasing it into the river we use as a source. System would return to normal if the creatures were dealt with, but I'm reluctant to beg it of the army. Well, looks like that's our job. We could take care of it if you'd like. It's most gracious of you to offer, but it's much too dangerous. And yet you want us to beat Zeralja for you. And Antiqua is even stronger than I am. It shouldn't take us long at all. It's true. And very well, I gratefully accept, but please take all care. Do. Big yawn. A random thing, but I'm just kind of frequently just looking out my window, waiting for like the rain to start falling, because it's supposed to be real stormy, and it's gonna be crazy. Because last night it was loud, it was wild how much rain we got, and it's supposed to continue. And we just started blasting. Destination reached. Oh, this thing's dead. Unicorn, unicorn. No. Kind of interesting. You can't right-click Iron Will away like you can other buffs. Although it's not technically a buff, is it? It's a effect on you. Thank you. We truly appreciate this. We won't have to ask Zeralja's machines for help. He's been making a concentrated effort to bolster his forces, sparing but a fraction for the people's protection. Thinks nothing of our safety, unlike Queen Sphene. I forgot how they said her name. It's enough. If you have grievances, I will hear them later, but to speak of the king now? No, she's right. He's never been one to look after his people, even though he was leader of the guard. Crazy. You never fail to let us know, nor how much you care. She thinks they're all the light of her life or something. I forgot how specifically she said it. They're lights and joys. You seem a good sort, that I'll admit. But you'll forgive me if I'm not ready to lower my guard for the enemy queen just yet. For you to be called that, I dread to imagine what villainy your majesty has committed. Come now, this is no laughing matter. A ruler is responsible for the welfare of countless lives, and one wrong decision can lead to an untold suffering. Failure is unconscionable. Now I believe we are done with the farm. Let's move on, shall we? If you say so. She would take me back to the outskirts. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Okay, you walk in this way, but the point's there, but there's also, that's the exit to the place for normal people, not people with a motorcycle that can jump. So, like, I guess you can walk that way. Do, 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 do. Do you hear that? What do we hear?
What's happening over there?
It's nearly time.
Oh, time for what?
I'm glad you could make it.
Okay, are one of you getting kidnapped to become a machine? Is that what this is?
Are you with us?
Queen Sphene has come to see you.
Sphene. Okay.
We're here, Namika. Everything is going to be all right.
Namika! Oh my god, that's the hands, maid's, hand servant
What's
for
the
Wu
matter,
Clement.
dear?
Oh my god, and that's the thing we saved for her.
It can't be. That's the bangle I gave to Namika.
You know her.
Of course I know her. She was like a mother to me.
I see. She was always willing to lend a kindly ear to others.
Oh my god,
Rarely
this
did
is
she ever
sad.
speak of herself.
No, I'm not gonna cry.
Is it really you?
I won't.
She must have arrived shortly before the barrier manifested. For us, it was perhaps days, but for her...
30 long years.
Namika, it's me. Wu Clement.
I'm afraid her time with us is nearly at an end.
No! That's so mean.
Has she no more soul cells?
Soul
She
cells?
always used hers sparingly, but at her age, it wouldn't make a difference.
Ma'am, the ushers have arrived.
Ushers. Okay, how does this work?
Thank you, Namika, for your many years of friendship. Take comfort in the knowledge that this is not the end. Be not afraid. Your memory will live on in us.
Living on in memory. The giants share a similar belief.
I'm glad I didn't need to say it.
Wait, where are you taking her?
Worry not. She is being escorted to a medical facility in the tower. There we will ease her burden. I had hoped to make arrangements for her sooner, but she wished to remain here for as long as possible. I could not bring myself to refuse her.
She was waiting for Wu Clement this entire time? It's so sad.
Is there any way I might stay with her for a little while longer? We may not share the same blood, but she's my
No.
mother. Please.
Let us give them some time alone.
That's some bullshit.
She didn't speak, but I'm grateful that I could be with her at the end. Thank you.
It's not the end.
You know, I complained about her emotion, like Wooglamet's emotions in some, or like voice acting in some emotional scenes, but she's done very good now.
Hmm?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking that we have much to discuss. Where shall we begin?
I do still believe they're
What we
turned
can
into
be reasonably
robots.
certain of, perhaps. Between what we have witnessed and the testimony of Alexandria's inhabitants, it's safe to say that two distinct lands have indeed become one. What's more, having met Namika, there is no denying the divergence in the passage of time. Taken together, these phenomena strongly suggest that some manner of cross-rift displacement has occurred. Specifically, the displacement of Alexandria from another reflection to the source.
So they were brought here, it seems.
It does seem the most likely explanation.
But still, what's the sixth zone then? The Golden City, the reflection itself? We'll see.
What perplexes me, however, is the scale of said displacement. It far exceeds what could conceivably be achieved with a Void Gate, or even with the Crystal Tower. In essence, we are dealing with a localized instance of dimensional compression. The Ascians would no doubt liken it to a rejoining. Which invites the question, how was such a feat accomplished?
I wish that I had an answer for you, but this talk of reflections and dimensions is well beyond my understanding. I can only tell you that we lived peacefully under the barrier's protection for many, many years, until the day that peace was suddenly broken.
If I may clarify, the barrier predates Alexandria's displacement.
By several hundred years, yes. To when the continent we call home was
Oh?
ravaged by a devastating cataclysm.
I thought this reflection would be one of the normal ones, but it's one of the ones that have already had the
The
calamity
barrier
done?
was erected to isolate us from the surrounding land's innocuous influence.
I see. And it was only later that it was whisked away, along with its contents, by means unknown.
In other words, Sphene's as lost as the rest of us, right? The Alexandrians didn't mean to end up in Tural.
Okay, you're taking a while to respond, ma'am.
Ah, but of course, our next stop ought to
You
be
know,
Everkeep. That tower over yonder.
I still don't trust her.
Once you have been registered as my guests, you will have access to Solution 9 and its residential district, where you will doubtless gain invaluable insight into Alexandria's state of affairs. Unfortunately, I cannot take you directly to where Zoraljar resides.
That you'd let us in it all goes a long way toward proving you're not content to let Zoralja do as he pleases. But we're not talking about a simple difference of opinion here. I've come to avenge my father. And to do so, I intend to take Zoralja's life. Are you willing to stand by and allow Alexandria's king to be slain?
A fair question. Permit me to answer it thus. My people come first. Their welfare is paramount. I will do everything in my power to keep them from harm. It is a ruler's duty. Now, I am off to register you at Everkeep. It may take some time, but you shall find the entrance open to you in due course. Oh, and ere I forget, your mother, Kafkiwa, you might try the Thunder Yards to the east.
Okay, so it looks like we're gonna do that before we get inside for
Yards.
Zerulja.
Is that where she is?
I am afraid I can say no more than that. Make for the Thunder Yards, and all will be made clear.
It's not as if we have other pressing business. Not until we can get into this Everkeep anyway.
So, like, we're definitely getting spied on by these robot
And
or
for being a friend to
earbuds.
Namika these past 30 years. It means a lot to me.
Namika? I'm sorry, but I don't know who you mean.
They're changing their memories. Okay. When they go away. Interesting.
What? We were just with her. If this is some sort of a joke, it isn't funny.
I don't mean to give offense, but I honestly have no idea who you are talking about. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's
You
brutal.
do not know who she is. You're in charge here. She was under your care.
Then in all likelihood, my memories of her have been stored in the cloud.
Oh, so they know about this. Maybe.
Any person seemingly forgotten without reason is probably there, in the cloud.
Okay.
I really must be getting back to work. If you'll excuse me.
Okay. Weird. Like, I get what they mean by the cloud because internet. But do they have any idea of what that means? Like the Warrior of Light, Grahatia, Aaronville. They look up, which is, like, not necessarily incorrect, kinda. The same thing have happened to others as well. Only one way to find out. Alright. Okay, so we're not quite going to the Thunder Yards yet. Let's attune to the Aetheryte and then go get these done. What is that? What is that running across the world? Hello? I guess, yeah, the real question is, did everyone's memory get erased, or just people that worked with her? Or, like, did those ushers also forget about her? I don't think Sphina had an earpod thing, so I think she would still remember, probably. Caregiving. I do not recall caring for someone until recently and say it was a woman named Namika. Can't say for certain if it was her. I wouldn't worry. I'm sure she's just been taken up to the cloud. Okay, maybe it is a physical location where they turn you into robots and then delete your memories. And not a, like, IRL type cloud thing with the internet and all. Do I know a Namika? Never met anyone by that name, and I've worked at the outskirts for a good while now. If they were here, I would remember. No, you don't. No, you don't. Intriguing. The lore gets deeper. So it's the same for everyone. Not a single person remembers Namika. It's as if the memory of her has been purged from their minds. While such a thing could be done with magic, to alter the memories of so many at once would be a tremendous undertaking. We would have felt a surge of ether corresponding to the Act 2, and I sensed none. Neither did I, but I did notice something else. Right before Pepone seemingly forgot, a light in the device on his head began to blink. Could there be a connection? Someone else said something about soul cells. I mean, who might we ask about this? If we continue making such inquiries, I expect we would only cause confusion. Let's go to the Thunder Yards now, I suppose. I do think we could ask about soul cells without causing confusion, because someone seemed to know about it. What is this thing staring at us? What is this? Is this supposed to be a Moogle? Yes, impossible, unidentified floating object. Egods. Another kind of mechanical soldier? It looks dangerous. We'd better destroy it. Ooh, is running. Okay. Let's see, is it gonna be friendly? Should we give chase? I think it understood our words. It might be worth asking it some questions. Aaronville, are you alright? You look like you've seen a ghost. It's nothing. I'm fine. I don't think it was nothing. Went off in the direction we're headed anyway, so let's try to track it down. Doggo. Do 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 do. Ba, 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 ba. Honestly, that Namika thing was cruel and unusual punishment. Woo, Clement, what are you doing over here? Nothing but birds in here. I mean, I guess so. That voice, could it be? Is that supposed to be your mother? Was she turned into a robot? But not a soldier robot? A little that thing robot? Dun dun dun, there it is. Stare it in the eyes. Okay, so it's going in that cave. You found it? And somehow you guys know I found it, even though I didn't say anything yet. Must be bound for the mines. Oh, yeah. Do, 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 do. Yeah. Thank you again. No, I really thought I had more in me, but I guess not. I may be calling it much sooner than I thought I would. I didn't actually think I'd finish the MSQ, but I kind of thought maybe I had enough to finish Zone 5. But I don't think I'm going to manage it. Multiple voices, it may be a trap, let's go. Or it could be a good thing, you know? Oh, Netherite's in here. Cool. Attuning. Hear them, several people up ahead. Can't make out their conversation with the echoing. Just keep going, stay on your guard. There it is.
What is this?
Oh?
Ironville!
It's a trap.
A trap?
Oh, the face animation.
It really is you!
Ellen Shipia.
Huh?
Huh? That's me, Wu Clement. Who?
I just had to get a look at you in the light, and I can still hardly believe my eyes. But it is you, my darling
Ellen Shipia. Oh my god, she sounds...
Darling, what now?
She, like, sounds so much like a doting mother. Or grandmother. Do. Do. Boop.
Oh, it's so good to see you, my fussy little bun bun.
Fussy little bud bud.
What are you doing here? What brings you all this way?
Fussy little bud bud. Oh my goodness. Fuzzy little bud bun.
Why the long face? Aren't you happy to see me after all this time?
I know that laugh anywhere. Mother?
Wait. Since when was your mother a weird floating thing?
Since now.
And what have we here? Say, aren't you Galoo Jaja's kitten?
You little god Jaja's kitten.
I knew I recognized that adorable fuzzy face. Ellen Espia was always so excited whenever you invited him over to play.
Oh my god, this is adorable. Oh.
I can't say that I do, but you know my father?
Appearances notwithstanding, it would seem this is my mother, Kafkiwa.
Kafkiwa. Somehow.
Sorry?
Oh, but this won't do. Come in. Friends of my Ellen Espia are always
All I ask is a little forewarning, but no.
Okay, what's going on here? A revolution? Rebels? I feel?
Just when I thought I was starting to get a handle on this place, how are things still getting stranger?
I've learned not to question it. That's an idea, remote controlled thing, but no, I think her mind was uploaded to the, you know, AI stuff that seems to be going on here, machine-wise, maybe. That spirited is a word, Aaronville, for that. I do like it. Spirited. And very teasing, too. Not how I expected his mother to act from what we knew about her so far, with the whole go out, go look for the city of gold. It's so wonderful to meet you all. And the students of Baldesian. It's been a while since I heard that name. Dare I ask the reason for your appearance? Oh, this? It's just a body that I control remotely. I use this for our operations. I don't feel like that's the whole story. We're members of a resistance organization, Oblivion we call ourselves, and our goal is to thwart Zoralja's ambitions for conquest. As the leader, it's prudent that I remain where I can't be easily found. I see, whimsical appearance notwithstanding, yours is a serious cause. Right you are, though truth be told, Oblivion was founded for an altogether different purpose. And that is? As you expect, you've already noticed everything you see within this dome, the buildings, the people, the very earth beneath our feet is a fusion of two worlds. Stopping such a fusion was Oblivion's original mission. Then does that mean you know who or what is responsible for it? I'm afraid not. This was a long time ago, and our mission statement has become more of a legend that's passed down to members. By the time we joined, our sole objective was stopping Zoralja. But we failed to do that, and now he's taken his army outside the dome. None of you wear those strange devices on your heads. Does that have something to do with your work? You mean this? It's a regulator, the pinnacle of electro technology, and that we don't wear it is indeed related to our operations. What exactly does it do? Allow me to explain. Regulators have two primary functions. The first, as the name suggests, is the regulation of the wearer's reserve of souls. Should they die, the regulator expands a soul to bring them back to life. Reserve? You mean people walk around carrying spare souls? Where do you get them? They do. Souls are packaged in cells, and they can be used to replenish the life force that is lost due to sudden death, such as accidents. They do nothing for those who die of old age, though. Distribution of soul cells is based on one's work evaluation to encourage exemplary performance when fulfilling their duties. Souls as a common resource and payment for services rendered. Strange. The void scent practice of consuming others for their aether comes to mind. Similarly, I expect that the act comes with some risk. I wasn't expecting a cutscene to zero. And those two. I kind of forgot what that last one was. One of the trials. Wouldn't the consciousness of others corrupt your own? That is prevented through memory management, a process in which regulators also play a role. Memory management? Then the reason everyone has forgotten Namika's existence. The regulators are constantly recording the memories of their wearer, so if they should suddenly die, their memories can be refreshed as part of the restoration process. That is how they preserve one's identity and sense of self. However, regulators are also triggered when someone else dies. Reason being is that regulators forcibly extract memories related to the deceased from anyone wearing one. But why? Why would they do such a thing? It's a kindness bestowed upon the people by Everkeep's core system so that no one has to suffer the pain of loss. There has to be more to it than that. So that is what they mean by their memories being in the cloud. Indeed, all memories of the deceased are wiped from the minds of the people and archived in the system. It's a frightening function of the regulators and an integral step in soul cell production. Are the dead are souls made from the memories in the cloud? See, when a person dies of natural causes, their soul is temporarily housed within the regulator. It's then delivered to a facility where memories are separated from the soul. Wait, we saw something like that. When the city was getting attacked by the soldiers. The result is a fresh soul cell, free of impurities, ready for distribution and consumption. So what, like, that's the soul without the memories? So you need to... That doesn't sound very sustainable. Ugh. Meanwhile, the memories are stored in the core system to be remembered forever. But not actually remembered. And this is why people are happy here on its surface. It's similar to Yakyoi philosophy, but I see nothing noble or comforting in it. Well, it doesn't seem so terrible to me personally. All comes down to what you're used to, I suppose. Like the barrier encasing Alexandria, the system was created to overcome the calamity that transformed the world hundreds of years ago. Amidst the mounting death tolls, scientists used Electrope to devise a means to save what lives they could so that the nation could endure. I understand the people of Alexandria did what they believed was best to save their people. I just find it hard to believe that Turali would also accept this way of living. It came as a shock to us as well. In fact, a great many were opposed to it. Which is why the use of regulators was never compulsory. The people have always been free to go without them if they so wish. Sven didn't strike me as the sort of ruler to impose her will on others. Ah, so you've already met. She's the one who suggested we come to the Thunder Yards in the first place. She also said she wants to help us stop Zoralja. Awfully kind of her to point you in my direction, and to speak so candidly as well. Whatever her motives, she has given the people a choice. Live with the risk of true death, or the security of the regulators. Everything that lives must someday die. That is the natural order of things. Quite right, but however you feel about them, it would be easier to understand if you saw it for yourself. I know just the person to show you, and as luck would have it, they should be starting work right about now. Who are we going to see exactly? Come with me and you'll find out. Are we gonna watch someone die? Do do do. Na 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 na. Nostalgia is her name, really? A lot happened when they were wearing regulators, and I'm like, nope, done. No more. Do do do. Do do do. Do do do. Everyone here? Good. It is the responsibility of the Thunderyard's hunters to fell any fiends found wandering the area. We're to meet an acquaintance of mine, one of these hunters, Strika. Okay, well, yeah, she's apparently totally gonna die to either the fiend, or she's gonna kill the fiend, and we're gonna absorb its soul. I can go around this, right? Right. Cool. Oh, excuse me. What are you doing here and with so many friends? Apologies for the interruption, but I was hoping they might observe you at work. Hunting, you mean? That's fine, I guess. Hold on, I assumed they were wearing special regulators like Queen's Fiend's crown, but they aren't wearing anything at all. Oh, she does have a regulator. It's much too dangerous to be here without one. What if they're struck by lightning or attacked by beasts? I can assure you they're all quite capable of looking after themselves. If anything should go amiss, I will take full responsibility. Wouldn't it be easier for those mechanical soldiers to guard this place? It would, if not for the fact they're weak to lightning. They use lightning and are weak to it. Interesting. The Thunderyard being what it is, they've been ordered to steer clear. Some good they are, eh? But these facilities are vital to the upkeeping of Alexandria's infrastructure, so it falls to hunters like me to deal with any fiends. Given the danger, we're well compensated for our work. It's a perfect profession for anyone looking to build up savings. A special selection of souls for hunters isn't terrible either. I brought this lot here to see this danger you speak of, if it's not too much trouble to ask. You all can handle yourselves in a fight, right? If you cause a ruckus slaying what critters you see nearby, there's a chance you'll draw out something worthy of a demonstration. It's like she's expecting to die. And, like, I guess not looking forward to it, but, like, pretty common. They're not too worried about fucking up. Do 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 do. Okay, I'm over here. I should just go grab this. You know, we're almost there anyway. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be at the top of that hill, isn't it? That's hateful. It's at the top of the hill. Hateful. Can't just go straight to it. Gotta go around. Alright, let's murk this thing. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Attuning. Every day we're attuning. Every day we're attuning. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm a big fan of the bike. I like it. It's a cool mount. Just go zooming by. Do 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 do. Hostile presence. The charged bolt hound. Oh no! So much danger. So her dying to the beast is definitely going to be a cutscene, right? Like a cinematic. Oh, you can store this combo for a while, it seems. Do do do. Do 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 do. God, the Phoenix is so cool. The Phoenix, the Phoenix, the fire in the flame. Dun 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 dun. This one'll do nicely. So what, is she a monk? She got them fisticuffs? We'll help you. No, we won't. It's fine, really. I faced worse. Just watch. I don't like the looks of this. Let us help. Oh no! Look out! She's dead! Oh no! Such a surprise! Blech. $12 per serve. She needs healing. Bonk. So nice of the Fiend to just stand there and not attack our party while this is going on. Aw. That was embarrassing. The bastard caught me off guard. I mean, it's not like we didn't see this with Zeralja and also the guy in the dungeon. told you not to worry. This will only take a moment. It sure did wait patiently. Yeah. Oh, so everyone gets this. Wah-pa-pa-pa! Unarmed mastery. Just saying, that's not part of the two functions we were told about memory erasing and resurrection. Just like Zeralja. Come on, let's get out of here. Bloop. That's also a function of the regulator? To unregulate your bodily limits? Mayhaps. Mayhaps. I think I understand now how Zeralja was able to return from the dead and defeat Papa, but I'm not sure what we saw at the end there. As soon as the regulator turned red, it was as if you were possessed. Your movements became beast-like. Don't tell me you empowered yourself with the soul of a beast? I'm reminded of the serpentine soldier we encountered at Vanguard who did the same. So you've crossed paths with one of the king's elite. Such a form can only be achieved from gorging yourself on souls. We could do the same in theory, but it's incredibly dangerous. Besides, it's not as if they'd allow hunters to carry that many souls to begin with. Well, I should be getting back to work. Take care. So Zeralja's also going to have a bajillion souls, so he could do something similar. Regulators can be loaded with two kinds of souls, those of peoples and those of beasts. Souls of people can be used to grant the user preternatural strength. Naturally, they can also be used to ensure no one suffers an untimely death. And what about the soul of beasts? They work much in the same fashion, imbuing you with the strength of the chosen animal. If, for example, you use the soul of a wolf, you would grow more agile and feral, as you saw with Strika. Using several at the same time at once, however, would result in physical changes. Your teeth might become fangs, your nails claws. Too many, and you'll become more beast than man. Changing one's form through the souls of other beings, it becomes more and more reminiscent of void scent. Yet unlike the void, where the cycle of death and rebirth is simply broken, souls here are forcibly taken before they might reach the ethereal sea. Different means to achieve similar ends. A cycle to which all within the dome are bound. This is wrong, this is all wrong. And I just also thought of something. So this is all that remains of the reflection, right? So then what was the Golden City, and who was the person that talked? Because, like, if this is all that remains of the reflection, my earlier guess of going to the reflection is wrong as the 6th zone. So I'm still kind of confused. I still believe the queen was who chit-chatted with Zeralja through the gate and gave him her power for, like, the freedom to untether. So, okay, here's my thoughts. So we have the gate. It's sitting there. They're stuck behind the gate, like, just by themselves, dying out for some reason. And Zeralja shows up, and he's like, free us, free us. And then they, bam, appear. And then they're stuck behind the barrier until it took 30 years to build the way through the barrier. And they pop back out through the barrier into the source, even though they're already in the source. Perhaps more shocking is that the tech to achieve all this was developed hundreds of years ago. The civilizations and their reflections are surprising indeed. I wonder which reflection is this, because there's 7 that have fallen to Calamity, I'm pretty sure. Maybe 8. I forget the exact number. Because we were stopping the 8th Calamity with the 1st, but also the 13th still counts, I think. Now the important thing is we know what power Zeralja has at his disposal. It's one thing to separate corporeal ether from incorporeal ether, but to strip memories from the soul entirely is unprecedented technology. Zeralja has become a real threat to the entire world. Indeed, he has to be stopped no matter the cost. I still don't know what the 6th zone will be, though. Trust you've gained an insight into the use of souls? It's shocking, I know. I was overwhelmed myself at first. I think you'll need some time to digest, but for now let's head back to the earth and sky. So, I think Sphina was the one who talked to Zeralja, got what she wanted of being freed and arriving here in the the source, and now kind of regrets the deal she made with Zeralja. So, like, I think she's working both sides, to be honest. She loves her people, she's doing what's best for them, and what was best for them was helping Zeralja with giving him the power in exchange for their freedom. And then now, it's like, well, he's an asshole and is, like, not good for the people anymore, so getting us to help remove him. Plain there's a wide gulf between Tuliolal and Alexandria, and while Zeralja knows everything about us, we know hardly anything about what he's become. We haven't seen what lies within that enormous tower Everkeep. So here I'd like to make a proposal. You're just gonna let me beat him up? That is, we work with her and her people. I cannot say her name. I try. I need to hear it more because I hear it and I'm like, okay, I can say it immediately afterwards, but then I forget how I'm supposed to say it, and I know I'm gonna butcher it. So join hands with Oblivion. We've only just met them, I know. We shouldn't be too quick to trust, but the fact remains they share our desire to stop Zeralja. Sphene, too, claims to be at odds. May I ask why you would cooperate with Oblivion instead? Simple, really. Their leader is Erenville's mother. Meanwhile, whatever Sphene may feel, she's a ruler of this nation. There's a greater risk in working with her and less reason to take her at her word. Fair point, and knowing Zeralja, we must assume that his arrangement with Sphene was not made without some consideration. There's no guarantee it's actually my mother behind the machine. Without seeing her in the flesh, we can't rule out the possibility of a ploy. If it turns out to be a trap, we endanger not only ourselves, but everyone in Tuliolal. But if this is a trap and we're avoiding it because of that, we have nothing to do. We have to go alone. Because the Queen sent us here. So the Queen would have sent us to this trap. So it's either a trap with everybody and we have to go alone, or we're picking between the two. We have no proof it's really her. But I make my proposal in full awareness of that. We know too little. We need to remedy that. We need to study the enemy, and when the time comes, strike down Zeralja for good and all. What's more, I trust you, Erenville. You've always had great instincts, honed from your time training under your mother. What if I'm wrong? What if sentiment is clouding my judgment? If it's a trap, we'll deal with it when it's sprung. It's always the way of it with you. Fine, if you're set on this, then I'll say no more. Yeah. Let's head inside and secure ourselves some new allies. Do 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 do. Oh, side quests have showed up for flying. Oh, we need to enter it. I was like, where's the thing? We have to enter the hideout. Something I need to tell you and your people. We came here for no other reason than to strike down Zeralja. But I thought he was your brother. Do you really mean to kill your own kin? My kin invaded our nation and murdered our people. As vow of resolve, it falls to me to bring him to account. I am prepared to do what I must, and I won't hesitate when the time comes. Like us, you and yours oppose Zeralja. In light of this, I propose that we work together to stop him once and for all. I realize that this is sudden, that it's a gamble to trust someone you've only just met. But I would trust in the conviction of anyone who shares my goal, so fight with me, I beg you. As you say, our goals align, and I don't doubt your resolve in the least. If you hadn't proposed working together, I would have done so instead. Truth be told, it's been tough going at it alone. While we've gathered ample intelligence, we don't have the strength to take action. Besides, how could we not trust you? My only son is with you. My fuzzy little bun. He's all the reason I need. I love that fuzzy little bun. It's just too good. It's just too... Oh, that was cute. It's decided here's to a fruitful collaboration. Let's not waste any time. We've been wondering about Zeralja's whereabouts. Is there a palace inside that tower? After a fashion, the king resides on the uppermost level, but while Queen Sven has a penchant for going out in public, he seldom shows himself. It's more his movements are highly classified. Not even his commanders are privy to that information. If anyone knows where he is at any given time, it could only be the queen. Even if we don't know his whereabouts, Zeralja will eventually march on Tuliolal again. That's when we can go after him. The drawback is we'd have to wait for the invasion. Innocents would be put in harm's way. There's also the possibility he'll leave everything to his minions and not command the army in person. Sounds unlike him, though. No, he'll take the field. What makes you so certain? My brother has always yearned to surpass our father. That's why he attacked Tuliolal. After waiting for 30 years, the first thing he wanted to do was demonstrate his newfound strength. But killing Papa didn't satisfy him, so now he's bent on proving himself stronger than me and Kona, who bested him in the right of succession. He challenged me to strike him down. He wants a duel to show everyone that he's superior to the Dawn Servant, and he won't let his minions deprive him of the pleasure. And why hasn't he appeared and given you your chance? Surely he's aware of your presence here. At that I can only guess. Perhaps he wants to dazzle us with his wondrous realm, but he won't. If he won't deign to appear, then we'll force him to do so. Even as we gather intelligence, we make no move to attack him. Show absolutely no interest in a confrontation. Knowing him, he'll tire of waiting and turn his attention to Kona instead. He'll attack Tuliolal like he said he would. I see if you believe this is the best approach, then we have no objectives. Objections. Any campaign against Tuliolal requires that Zeralja lead his forces through Vanguard. We'll have lookouts to keep an eye on it day and night. Such a strategy is certainly viable. If we're proceeding with it, though, we should warn those outside. Indeed, they'll need time to prepare their defenses. You can leave Vanguard to us. We'll send word at the first sign of movement. Seems we have a plan. While we wait for Zaralja to move, you'll do well to prepare for battle, and it begins with familiarizing yourself with the technology that empowers him. I'll show you to Oblivion's main headquarters. Oh, I thought this place was it. You'll be impressed to know that we're located right inside that tower, in the residential district of Solution 9. Hiding a tree in the forest, as it were. The only question is how to get you through the checkpoint, which the Queen has allowed us through. Sven said that she'd make it so we could enter without issue. She did, curious. She's not supposed to have authority over the sentries. If I recall correctly, her words were that she would register us as guests. I see, perhaps we're in the clear then. When you're ready, come and meet me at the tower entrance. Before you head out, give us a moment to introduce ourselves properly, eh? After all, names are good to know when working together. Hi, Geode. And Nostalgia. While Oblivion has operatives all over, we're the main crew here. I'm Geode, the leader of this hideout, and the dependable young twins behind me are Nostalgia and Wayakwi? I'm Nostalgia. It's a pleasure to meet you. My sister and I were born and raised inside the barrier. We've been with Oblivion for 3 years, and our main duties are surveillance and provisioning. Twins, eh? That explains the resemblance. Wayakwi is a Tonawawatan name, unless I'm mistaken. That's right. Our mother is Tuliolalan, and our father is Alexandrian. They wanted to honor both cultures. They're beautiful names. So thank you, though I have no memories of my mother. I like to think I carry a part of her with me. So what made you decide to join Oblivion? They forgot our mother. We wanted to avenge our father? Okay. Ambrose was his name, and years ago he was taken away after a scuffle with a soldier over a disagreement. It was a minor incident, so at first we clung to the hope he'd be released. But when months went by with no word, we made the decision to remove our regulators. We had already lost the memories of our mother. We didn't want to lose those of our father as well. They've all forgotten about him now, everyone who had known him. That bastard. Even here, he thinks nothing of his own people. Sometime later, we were approached by a member of Oblivion. Hoping to get justice for our father, we joined the Order. Sorry, I didn't mean to darken the mood. No, I appreciate you sharing. Together, we'll avenge your father. Thank you, something tells me you have what it takes. Although that's kind of weird they got in a scuffle with a soldier, when it seems like most of the soldiers are literal robots. So, like, how can you get in a scuffle with a robot? Like, the only exception are, like, the elite guys. Pretty much the same story. While mine is a Tonawatan name, I haven't the foggiest how things are outside the barrier. It's my dream to go and see it with my own eyes. Our mother's homeland. Once peace is restored, you must come and visit. The wilds are beautiful, the food delicious, and everyone's so nice. You'll love it. And that's us here. You'll meet others in the back room. That's our headquarters. Some of them are a little eccentric, but they have good hearts all. One last thing. It isn't exactly my place to say this, but thank you for seeking out your mother. She talks about you so much, it's clear how important you are to her. Oh, he didn't expect that. It's all. Be good to your mother while you still can, eh? Well, we'll let you go now. Feel free to use this hideout as you like. Also, this whole memory bullshit is weird because your memory is what makes you a person. And, like, should impact your soul, because your soul is you. It's who you are. So if you lose memories, you're no longer the same person. Everkeep, okay. Zaralja, what's up? Is Queen telling you everything she did and where we are? Oh, she totally is. Or maybe not. We'll see if she lies to him.
You've been consulting with Wook Lamont. No matter. 'Cause 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 I do not know what you are scheming, but when your realm lay on the brink, you were powerless. You had no choice but to turn to me. Whatever sentiment you may feel for her, it is my power you require, is it not?
Perhaps. And yet, knowing the love that Wooglamoot bears for her people, how she regards them all as kin, I cannot help but wish to spare her the same pain I have suffered. What's more, her friends possess new knowledge. Were we to work together, we might find another path. I know you're loath to consider it, but is there no hope for peace with Tuliolo? What we've already done may be unforgivable, but it needn't continue. You needn't kill your brother and sister.
I slew my only flesh and blood. Yet you attempt to sway me with an appeal to family.
I really don't understand his ambition.
My father's final moments still fills me with disappointment. Age came for him before I did. For long years, I sought to prove the miracle. And weak as he was, defeating him achieved nothing.
Weak as he was, he still killed you once.
To kill them is my only recourse. Wooglamoot and Kona, who bested him as he was in his prime.
They are still your siblings, even if not by blood. That such bonds should mean so little to you.
I am bound to no one. Serve none save myself. I made that clear when first you spoke to me in the Golden City. Remember, I can easily kill your beloved family. If you would protect them, cast aside any foolish notions. Your wisdom and abilities are valuable insofar as our goals align. So think well before you act, Queen of Reason. Wooglamoot, if you are father's worthy successor, then you will find your way to me. But should you fall short, I will lay waste to Tuliolal.
What now?
Okay, so I do think I was pretty on the nose with what's going on with her. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it there for now. Did a pretty solid amount done. We'll see. Still got such a ways to go. Like, what level quest? Still on 97. Woo, that's crazy.